All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We had a bad night 2 nights ago, and I told you guys, I was like, we're gonna bounce back. What I didn't realize is we still have hands that are turning everything we touch into you-know-what. So tonight is the night. We got a bunch of NBA games on the slate tonight. We can't have 3 negative days in a row. We just can't. We can't. I will not allow 3 negative days in a row. So we are going to bounce back tonight, guys. We're going to go through each and every game in this video. I'm going to give you my lean. We'll talk about the game. I'll give you what I'm thinking. But my final plays, what I'm actually going to be rolling with, will be in the pinned comment. So make sure you guys check that out. Again, in the pinned comment is where those final plays will be. So make sure you guys go check that out. We also just hit 12,050 subscribers yesterday. We were gaining subscribers like crazy, even in our darkest times here. Like I put on the light switch today and I thought, okay, is this gonna go on? And it did. So we're in the clear. We can still pay for electricity right now, guys. But yeah, we do certainly have to bounce back, which I'm looking to do tonight. We're gonna change up. You know, in spite of the fact that we are kind of cold right now, 2 negative days in a row, we're going to change up how we do the video. So stay tuned for that, guys. But let's jump into the ride of the day here, guys. If you don't know what the ride of the day is, all you have to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments, and you guys give me a lock. Now, I have been taking picks and just mushing them like we had yesterday here. We had my man Guy Who Wins Money with the ride of the day, Franz Wagner. Over 21.5 points and assists. Now, usually we give the womp womp for the pick, but I'm giving the womp womp for me, this guy. He finishes with 21 points and assists. Just under 19 points, 2 assists for Wagner. So I am just the kiss of death right now. I am a curse, but we're going to turn it around. We got a bunch of games on the NBA slate today, so I'm very excited to be able to bounce back here. I've said bounce back 100 times. And hopefully we can actually live up to that. But guys, before we do it, I'm going to talk to you guys about MyBookie, the best sports book out there. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. They got a bunch of live betting odds on there as well over on mybookie.ag. It is a sportsbook that has an unbelievable assortment and selection of plays and odds and everything like that, guys. And you know what I'm always telling you. If you're gonna bet, you should have multiple sports books to be able to get the best lines and best odds out there. Adding MyBookie into your repertoire, into your arsenal is a smart move, guys. You can use the link in the description. Use code GBS for a deposit match bonus, guys. Just go over and check it out. It's an amazing platform, a really smooth sportsbook and interface and everything like that, guys. I really have been enjoying MyBookie and working with them especially. So make sure to go head over, use that link in the description, use GBS. It helps support the channel if you do use the link as well. So guys, I'm never going to tell someone to not have an extra sportsbook, because if you can get, you know, a 3.5 line on one and 3 on the other, you got a decision to make and you can use it to your benefit. So make sure to go check it out. Link in the description and use that promo code GBS. And I told you guys that we're going to do this video a little bit differently, right? So that's what we're going to jump into. We got this formatted, I guess I would say, a little bit differently in terms of how we're going to go through this. So let's jump right into that, because we're going to kind of walk through these games a little bit more than me just rambling and speaking about them, okay? Sound good? All right, so first game on the slate, we're looking at Brooklyn taking on the Washington Wizards. Now, this is just a screen grab of my other screen, so I'm going to be kind of walking through this, guys, through this with you guys. But right now, Brooklyn 3-point underdogs taking on Washington. Washington -3 at home. Your total is 226. You see the consensus right now, at least on this website. Looks like people are hammering Washington -3, and people are loving the over. I like to head down to the injuries just to get a sense. Kyrie Irving, ya big dum-dum, he is suspended. What an absolute idiot. This is not a Kyrie Irving show, so I won't do that, but what a piece of garbage, some of the stuff that he has been saying. Seth Curry is also questionable, and Ben Simmons has been ruled out here. Washington, no new injuries for the last couple nights here. Brooklyn coming off of a loss to Chicago, and Washington coming off of a win here. Brooklyn's 0-6 against the spread last 6. Washington 2-4 in their last 6 here. I will say this, as crazy as I am, usually, I think that this play is actually a pretty smart pick. I'm sounding the psycho alert alarm. I think that all this drama with the Nets, somehow they galvanize and play better tonight. So I'm going to go Brooklyn Nets here as my lean, +3. They're 1-7 against the spread this year. It's probably really stupid, probably crazy, but I got to start fading myself at some point, right? We got a brand called Fade Me. So, guys, I do like Brooklyn +3 in this one. I think that they do come out firing all this drama, all this. There's got to be some guys like Kevin Durant and other guys on the team that say, can we just focus on basketball? You know, the coach, the star player, all this BS. Let's just play some basketball. And I think this is a pretty good spot for them getting 3 points. So I lean Brooklyn +3. Make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if that becomes an actual final play. Next up, we got the Pistons getting 7 points against the Cavaliers here. This Cavs team 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. Really liking how they look. Mitchell is going absolute berserk, and then you throw in Darius Garland. He is looking really good as well. They're 6-0 in their last 6 here. In terms of injuries, Donovan Mitchell is questionable, and so is Garland. This pick is going to entirely depend on that for Detroit. Alec Burks is the only injury update here. But yeah, look at this run by Cleveland. Good team they beat. Washington's playing okay. They beat Orlando, okay. Really good team they beat. Good team, really good team they beat. They've been playing really, really well. The team that they lost to was Toronto opening night, and that is it. Detroit, on the other hand, obviously not looking that great. So we're going to lean Cleveland here, -7 in this one. The total's 222.5. When looking at the points scored in these games, Detroit can go out there and give you 115, right? 128 here. Last couple games, they slowed down a little bit. You know Cleveland can go out there and score. I actually lean the over to 222.5. I don't know if that becomes the final play. Keep an eye on the pinned comment, guys. All right, Pacers taking on the Heat. +4 are the Pacers at home. 227 is the total here. The Heat are the better team, even though the record and against the spread records necessarily wouldn't show that. But I will say I do think that they are the better team. I'm pretty confident of that. The one thing in this game is Bam Adebayo's questionable, right? Victor Oladipo, he's been out. Jimmy Butler downgraded to out. That changes things a little bit. Indiana, no major injuries here. Daniel Tice out. Aaron Nesmith questionable. Isaiah Jackson downgraded or upgraded to probable. So when looking at this here, Pacers getting 4 points. That line might move because a lot of simpletons out there may look at this line and say, I'm hammering the Heat without looking into the Bam and the Miami Butler, the Jimmy Butler injuries there, right? So I think that we might wait on this line. Keep an eye on the pinned comment, and it's going to be Indiana or bust for me. Indiana, 4-4 against the spread. Nothing spectacular, but they have kept some games close. So I'm going to see if we can get this at a better line here, maybe +5 or something by game time, and that could be a final play. Keep an eye on that pinned comment. Sixers taking on the Knicks. Sixers -3 at home. We don't have a total for this game yet, so I apologize there. But in terms of how this game's going to go, I do think that New York's going to bounce back a little bit after that loss to Atlanta here, right? They were up. They looked like they were winning that, and then they go out there and absolutely just get kind of embarrassed. Philly coming off the loss to Washington, though, so I think that this game's going to be pretty close. But that 3-point spread is indicating a close game, right? If we look at the injuries here, Philadelphia, Joel Embiid is questionable. He's been questionable with that illness. James Harden, I think he's going to miss like a month or something. So this one I'm still kind of up in the air on, if I'm being completely honest. You have Melton and Tybalt also not sure if they are going to play. I will say this, if Joel Embiid's a go, I think that I lean Sixers -3. If Joel Embiid is not a go, I am going to lean Knicks +3. Does that make sense? So we're really looking at that Joel Embiid injury, and if we can't get Joel Embiid at all or anything like that, then we're probably going to be sticking away from this game. And guys, that is totally fine to do, to stick away from a game. You don't always need to have action on every single game, especially when you're on a little bit of a losing streak like me. Again, 2 days in a row where I've absolutely stunk out loud. Let's keep it going here. Celtics taking on the Bulls. Celtics 7.5-point favorites. I think this is a bounce back spot for the Celtics here, losing to the Bulls recently. Don't even need to really scroll, but we will really quickly. The Celtics team is a very good team. They've had a couple losses here that they probably, could have won. Chicago being one of them, then Cleveland again. Boston at home here, bouncing back, no major injuries. I lean Celtics, my Boston Celtics, big Celtics fan, -7.5. Memphis Grizzlies, 11.5-point favorites to the Charlotte Hornets. What do you guys think we do, right? When we see those big numbers with the Hornets, who are on the season 4-4 against the spread, we're going to be looking at that saying, you know what? I think that's what we end up rolling with. So I think we're going to go with the Hornets here, plus 11.5. I think it's a huge number, and I think that they can keep it to within that. I think Memphis is looking to get something going here. You look at Memphis, 2 losses to Utah. They do scrounge one out against Portland. Luckily, we bought points down. They ended up winning that game by 5. The line was 5.5. We got it at 4.5, so got lucky there. But Memphis just hasn't looked as good as they'd like. Look at these against the spreads here. 3 drops in a row. Charlotte, these numbers aren't as big, but look at when Charlotte has large spreads, right? 10. Win against the spread. 7.5. Win against the spread. 10. win against the spread. Not to mention, they're winning these games outright when they're double-digit spreads. We're going to go Charlotte plus 11.5. Spurs, 3.5-point favorites against the Clippers here. Again, we don't have a total for this one. Last time these two teams played, San Antonio actually won. This was at the beginning of the year last year. The Clippers, we're always looking at the injury report. Kawhi Leonard's out. Robert Covington is questionable, but a lot of injuries here for San Antonio, but it looks like it's trending up for them. Vassell is upgraded to probable. Collins and Roby are questionable. Keldon Johnson upgraded to probable, but either way, I'm going to be looking at the Clippers here. And again, I looked at that last game, right? You go back even farther, San Antonio's got them there too. So 2 games in a row here, San Antonio's taking it. I think the Clippers are the better team. I'm going to go for 3.5 on the side of the Clippers there. All right, guys, Pelicans, 4.5-point favorites against the Warriors. Warriors on the back-to-back. They catch a loss to Orlando last night, which is absolutely crazy to me. Did not expect that. They were 9.5-point favorites. They lose the game. I think it was 130 to 129, and the Warriors are in a downward spiral. The Pelicans go to overtime with the Lakers a couple nights ago and lose. They look good at times there. Brandon Ingram looks like he's actually going to be upgraded to probable. I'm probably staying away from this game, but weirdly enough, I lean Warriors on the second night of a back-to-back. Steph Curry's got to be motivated. Draymond's got to be motivated. The whole team has to be motivated. Clay's questionable. If he doesn't play, Jordan Poole will step up. This Warriors team has to click at some point. We're leaning Warriors plus 4.5. I think you have good value there. I'm probably staying off this game, though, so I don't think it becomes a final play. All right, Mavs -4 against the Raptors here. Mavericks in their last game looked decent against Utah. Then all of a sudden the train Utah looked decent against the Mavericks, and then all of a sudden the wheels started to fall off for Utah, and Mavericks actually clawed back in that one, and I did see some good stuff coming out of Dallas, so we're going to lean Dallas in this one. Bertans and Ntilikina are downgraded to out. Van Vliet, which would be crucial for this line and for Toronto, is questionable here, but I like Dallas -4 on their home floor here. So we're going to go on them. The 3-1 this season at home here. So I do think that these two teams have the ability to make this kind of a good scoring game. We don't have the total yet because I think everyone's going to think that these are two slower paced teams and blah, blah, blah. And this is going to be an under type game. I kind of peek at the overall, throw it in the spreadsheet and see what happens. But I'm going to lean Dallas here -4. All right, a couple games left, guys. Let me know if you do enjoy the new format for these. I don't think we're always going to do this. This is more work kind of scrolling rather than me just doing everything that I do research-wise. Now, trust me, this is not all the research we're doing. This isn't the first time I've seen these sheets, right? Like, I don't want you guys to think I'm on here just being like, oh, let's look at the games for the first time. But I wonder what you guys, the viewer perspective is, thinks of this, of kind of like going through, seeing my brain just scroll up and down. We're trying to pull out key stats. This website is called Oddshark. ODDSSHARK, Oddshark, with an S in there. So make sure to check it out if you guys don't use it. It has a lot of good information on there. But guys, if you are still watching, we're gonna keep doing this because I love seeing who the OGs are, win or loss. If I'm on a hot streak, cold streak, guys, if you are watching right now, let's go ahead and drop the word shark in the comments. SHARK. I'm a spelling bee champ. Can't pick games lately, but I'm a spelling bee champ, guys. Use that in the comments here and let me see what you guys got. I want to know who's making it to this point in the video. Again, that word is shark. Drop it in the comments. Also drop hashtag right of the day in the comments for your picks here. But we got the Timberwolves 3-point dogs against the Bucks. I lean Bucks here. This is a pretty simple one for me. The Bucks are rolling right now. I would never bet against the Bucks as of late. The one thing I will say is I'm probably staying off of this game because this could be a letdown spot for the Bucks. 7-0, traveling to Minnesota, who has guys that can stop a guy like Giannis. So I'm probably sticking away from this game, being completely transparent, but I would lean Bucks -3. I just don't think Minnesota's getting enough points. Suns, 10-point favorites over the Trailblazers. This Trailblazers team is pretty spectacular this season. 2-0 on the road against the spread as well. 6-1 in their last 7 games. Damian Lillard still out here. For Phoenix, Jay Crowder still out with all that contract stuff. DeAndre Ayton looks like he is going to come back. Cameron Payne is questionable. Phoenix coming off of 5 straight wins to some pretty damn good teams. And Portland, who's been playing really good basketball. 1-2 in their last 3, but prior to that went on a little bit of a run. I think the 10 points might be a little bit too much. I hate to have 2 of these picks in a row, but I probably stick away from this game, but I do lean Portland plus 10. I think that's a lot of points. This isn't like they have like, oh, a West Coast game or East Coast game. No, like close enough, right? So I think that the Trailblazers could be kind of comfortable here. I think that when looking at the defense that they've been playing, if we look at their defensive ranks here, top 10 defense in the league when it comes to scoring, rebounding, free throw percentage. You know, they're looking pretty good. The one thing I will say, look at Phoenix on the offensive end. Really well. That's what's making me stay off of this game. But I do think 10 points is a lot to give, so we're sticking away from this one, but I would lean I would lean Portland plus 10. All right, Lakers -2 taking on the Jazz. Lakers just got that overtime win against the Pelicans a couple nights ago, and this Jazz team is looking good. 6-3 against spread in their last 9 games. They're keeping games close. They are keeping games close, and I do like the Jazz in this one. I think the Jazz can win this game outright, so I'm going to lean Jazz here +2, just because I'm still fading the Lakers until they go on some sort of a hot streak like I talked about in a previous video. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for the video today. I'm looking to bounce back. We need to bounce back, so keep an eye on that pinned comment. That is where all my final plays will ultimately be, what I'm actually gonna be rolling with tonight. If we had player props, we had a parlay, we had teasers, all those things will be in there with a good description of why I'm rolling with it. I don't just give you guys the picks. I've done that in years past, but I take feedback, I take the criticism, and I like to make these videos as amazing for you guys as possible. Using that word amazing lightly. But guys, hopefully you do like it. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you did enjoy the new format. I don't think we're going to continue with it, but I did want to switch things up and see what you guys think and see what you guys like, because we're always trying to change and evolve here. But we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace.